Hello, I'm Erik Robey.
And I'm Karla Schaffer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll have Recreation and Parks Director Rick Anthony on the show. Well, the news out of the police department last weekend could have come right out of an episode of Law & Order or CSI. A man pulled up in front of Dave & Buster's at Arundel Mills Mall and opened fire, killing a man and a woman. He then sped off in his SUV and returned to his home in Prince George's County. After interviewing witnesses, police got a lead on the suspect and located his address. Anne Arundel County detectives and Prince George's County police surrounded the houses early the next morning in what turned into a standoff that lasted 2 hours. 22-year-old James Coleman finally emerged from his parents' house where he was living with an AK-47 assault weapon in one hand and a shotgun in the other. He was able to wound a police officer before police returned fire and killed Coleman. The officer is expected to make a full recovery. Police advised that the shooting at the mall was not random and that Coleman likely targeted the couple in the parking lot. An off-duty officer working secondary at Dave & Buster's was able to get authorities a head start on the manhunt. County Executive Leopold said of the operation, "Our police department did an excellent job responding to this tragedy and working with our neighboring department. We've never seen such a violent act at any of our malls, but good police work led to the successful takedown of the suspect." The police department heightens its patrols of the malls during the holiday season, and Arundel Mills offers escorts for customers to their cars in the parking lot. They stress that this was an isolated incident and that customers are safe to shop there.
Well, now let's move into the warm holiday glow of the Community Spotlight, which shines this week on the North County Emergency Network that provides food to nearby families. Our own Mark Chang has all the details of what this group has planned for the holidays. Mark.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. I'm over here in Glen Burnie, over at the North County Emergency Outreach Network, or NEON, as the acronym is known up here. And with me today, I have volunteers of the team, and I have Miss Marsha Frazier, who's the president, Mr. Charles Hashagen, who is the vice president, and Miss Vera Sharp, who is the secretary of the organization. Also, there's a lot of volunteers busily working over here at the center here. And I want to start off with you, Miss Marsha. Could you tell the viewers out there who are not familiar with NEON about what NEON is?
NEON is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we're all volunteers. We do not get any government funds. We do not receive any government grants. We are here through the generosity of our member churches, civic organizations, and the community at large who are generous, and they help us to keep going. Our ultimate goal here is not to be needed, but so far we haven't seen that as a viable thing.
Okay. Well, I know that you're all always out there in the community asking folks to support NEON. What other ways can folks help out over here?
Oh, we always need food and funds, but we need volunteers. We always need volunteers. You know, healthy volunteers.
Okay. All right, great. Well, Miss Marsha, thanks a lot for the work you do up in this community. And what area do you all service?
Oh, Glen Burnie, Hanover, Harmons, Pasadena. What else? Millersville, Severn. Ferndale, but that's part of Glen Burnie.
Okay.
But it's Linthicum.
Okay. Great. It's the northern part of the county.
You notice that echo?
Yeah. Right. Well, the need is definitely great. And with the holiday season fast approaching, Charles, how can people out there get involved and help out this organization today?
Well, by the volume of food that has been going out and other appurtenances, like toilet paper is not an emergency until you don't have any. Diapers for mothers with small children. Then the various foods that you need for young people, kids. We need foods like that all the time. We fill our shelves up and they're emptied in a matter of a few hours. And it just goes on like that day after day. We started in 1989 and we haven't stopped but grow, 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 grow. And when you give over $500,000 away every year in food and money, you can see the need is really there in our areas that we cover.
Absolutely. And if viewers out there, they have extra food in their pantry, or if they're out there shopping and getting some extra items out there, how can they get it over here?
Well, they can either deliver it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and occasionally if it's a big delivery, we can make arrangements otherwise. But they can give it to some of their churches that are supplying food to us, or if they don't want to bring it themselves. But any way we can get it, we'll take it.
Okay, great. And where are you located on 5th Avenue in Glen Burnie?
304 5th Avenue, right at the Community Church of God. We have the old rectory. We have a sign in our front saying NEON. And it's a parking lot there. If you park between the lines, you got it made.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And Vera, folks out there want to give the organization a call or make checks, what's the information?
Okay, we definitely need monies and foods because, as Charles said, the closets are getting bare. With the economy such as it is, we're getting at least 15 to 16 new families each and every day, and we're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every time we put a letter out or a call out to the people in this area, they are very, very generous. They really give. So I want to thank everyone for what they do give. We desperately need volunteers, though, preferably some men that don't have back problems, because we have a lot of problem with the lifting, and most of our men are up in age and they do have health problems. So, well, yes, we're all seniors actually, just about. So if they want to volunteer, our number is 410-766-1826, or they can come in any day between 10 and 2:30 and talk to me or Marcia or someone that's here. Usually Marcia and I are here most every day.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ms. Vera, and thank you to the whole entire team and all the volunteers that are here today. I know you all got to get back to work, so reporting from the Neon Food Pantry over 5th Avenue in Glen Burnie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mark. This is just another example of all the great people out there in our community helping to make a difference in our county.
Of course, this week is Thanksgiving, and last week we gave you some safety tips, including warnings about the famous deep-fried turkey. Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department has a YouTube video of his own to show you today. It's what happens when deep frying a turkey goes terribly wrong. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. Now that the holidays have arrived, more and more people will be experimenting with different foods and methods they are cooked. A longtime food favorite in the southern and mid-Atlantic areas of the United States is delicious deep-fried turkey. This method of preparation has quickly grown in popularity thanks to celebrity chefs such as Martha Stewart and Emeril Lagasse. While some people rave about this tasty creation, Underwriters Laboratories Incorporated and other safety experts are concerned that backyard chefs may be sacrificing safety for good taste. Over the years, the Underwriters Laboratories have reported that there have been an increase in the number of fires related to turkey fryer use. Based on test findings, the fryers used to produce those great tasting birds are not worth the safety risk, and as a result of their testing, the UL has decided not to certify any turkey fryers with their trusted UL mark. There are many reasons why a turkey fryer can be dangerous. Many units can easily tip over, spilling hot oil within the cooking pot. If the cooking pot is overfilled with oil, the oil may spill out of the unit when the turkey is placed into the cooking pot. Oil may hit the burner and flames, causing a fire to engulf the entire unit. Partially frozen turkeys placed into the fryer can cause a spillover effect. This too may result in an extensive fire. With no thermostat controls, the unit also has the potential to overheat the oil to the point of combustion. The sides of the cooking pot, lid, and pot handles can also get dangerously hot, posing severe burn hazards. If you absolutely must use a turkey fryer, here are some tips for safer use. Turkey fryers should always be used outdoors, a safe distance from buildings and any other material that can burn. Never use a turkey fryer on wooden decks, in garages, or in any other part of your home. Make sure the fryers are used on a flat surface to reduce accidental tipping. Never leave the fryer unattended. Most units do not have thermostat controls. If you don't watch the fryer carefully, the oil will continue to heat until it catches fire. Never let children or pets near the fryer when in use. And even after use, never allow children or pets near the turkey fryer. The oil inside the cooking pot can remain dangerously hot for hours after use. To avoid spillover, do not overfill the fryer and use well-insulated pot holders or oven mitts when touching the pot or lid handles. If possible, you should also wear safety goggles to protect your eyes from oil spatter. Make sure the turkey is completely thawed and be careful with marinades. Oil and water do not mix, and water causes oil to spill over, causing a fire and even an explosion hazard. The National Turkey Federation recommends refrigerator thawing to allow approximately 24 hours for every 5 pounds of bird thawed in the refrigerator. Now, we'd like to take a quick look at some turkey fryer testing that was conducted by the underwriters' laboratories.
We've recently tested several models of deep-fat turkey fryers and find that this method of cooking can be very hazardous. Looks like our partially frozen turkey is ready. Our temperature's at 350 degrees, so put the turkey in. The units can be overfilled, and when that happens and a turkey is added, the oil spills out, causing the unit to catch on fire. Another one of our safety concerns with deep-fat turkey fryers is their lack of stability. Watch how easy it is to tip it over. In our laboratory, we use water. Can you imagine if this were hot oil? In addition, these units do not have thermostatic controls, allowing the oil to overheat and posing a severe fire hazard. One of our concerns with deep-fat turkey fryers is that the handles and the lid get very hot, so if you try to move it, as you can hear from the sizzling with these wet gloves, you could get a very severe burn if you touch that with bare skin. Based on our testing of the deep-fat turkey fryers on the market today, we will not certify these with our trusted UL mark. We hope everyone thinks twice before using a deep-fat turkey fryer, but if they do, they should exercise extreme caution. Always use these units outdoors, never on a wooden patio or in a garage. They should always be placed on a flat, level surface and never should be left unattended.
In a second issue of importance this week, County Executive John R. Leopold today warned residents of a possible scam targeting seniors with fraudulent inspections posing as fire department representatives. County Executive Leopold said if you receive a letter in the mail advising you of a home inspection by the fire department, please contact the police and be aware that the letter is a fake. We are concerned that these letters are being sent with criminal intent to rob or harm residents. This was a result of an Annapolis resident in the Heritage Harbor community recently receiving a letter indicating that representatives from the Anne Arundel County Fire Department would be out within the month to conduct a fire inspection of their home as part of the fire department's in-service inspection program. The fire department does utilize a similar letter for its in-service fire inspection program, but these letters are hand-delivered by firefighters from the local fire station where the businesses are located that are scheduled to be inspected. County Fire Chief John Ray said he wanted to emphasize that Anne Arundel County Fire Department does not perform fire code inspections in private homes, and anyone who has received a letter in the mail or from any individual indicating that fire department personnel will be conducting a fire inspection in their home should immediately contact the Anne Arundel County Police. Karla?
Thanks, Chief. I think we'll stick to baking the turkey in our oven at my house this year.
Well, folks, there's more Week in Review to come. When we come back, we'll be speaking with our Director of Recreation and Parks, Rick Anthony, about the Penn State scandal and the safety of our local children here in athletics. But first, take a look at the community calendar for what's happening around your county. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's cold and flu season, and the last thing you want is to be sick or make others sick. So here's what you do to stop germs and stay healthy. Cover your coughs. Wash your hands after sneezing, coughing, or blowing your nose. Wash with warm water and soap for 20 seconds and then dry. When you can't wash your hands, use an alcohol-based sanitizer. If you do get sick, stay home. Stop germs, stay healthy.
And welcome back, folks. Well, in light of the recent allegations coming out of Penn State University, we thought it was fitting that we'd bring our Director of Recreation and Parks, Mr. Rick Anthony, to talk about what we're doing here in Anne Arundel County to make sure we're keeping our youth athletes safe on and off the field. Rick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Rick, I got to say, something we've been doing in the county for about 15 years is making sure we do background checks on all of the people in leadership positions, the coaches, the assistant coaches that actually interact with our youth on a daily basis. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's correct. And actually, Dennis Callahan, the director then in 2001, was the first to implement this. And I read through the files, and it was pretty curious that it was a lot of people that criticized the action at the time. But in light of what's going on today, I don't think we have one person complain about it. But he did a great job with his vision and deciding to go that direction with background checks.
Well, we know a little bit about these background checks. We have, everything in recreation and parks. You guys run the gamut: baseball, soccer, swimming. What about the classes that kids are taking? A lot of kids will sign up for a gym class through recreation and parks. Are the folks that are teaching those classes, do they also have to go through the background checks?
Yeah, that's correct. Anytime that you have any type of custody with children, you need to have a background, including even employees, whether it's summer employees, part-time employees, but everyone has to go through that same process.
And what is that process that you use for vetting the people?
Well, what we do is you actually have an application that you have to fill out with your social security number, and there's three categories that we do check here. And the first one is a name reference, that we make sure that you are who you say you are, and we'll check your social security numbers. Any other alias that you might have are maiden names. And then we also have a county, a local search, a state search, and an FBI search. And that information comes back to us directly, and we make the determination based on our criteria on whether you are coaching or not, or being involved with the kids.
And tell us, what is that criteria? What are we looking for in those background checks? What are we trying to determine?
Well, it's interesting, too, because we probably have one of the most stringent criteria in the state as far as allowing certain charges. And obviously, the felony charges will automatically exclude you from coaching. There are some misdemeanor that we also include. Anything that has to do with violence, anything that has to do with drugs, looking at some serious time. And then we have some minor charges that if you haven't been charged within the last 10 years, then there's a chance that you can be eligible. But for the most part, if there's anything to do with abusing of children or anything serious, then that's it for a lifetime. There's no other recourse to coach.
So coaches shouldn't worry about, someone who wants to be a youth coach shouldn't worry that they've got a couple speeding tickets on their record.
No.
We're really looking for serious offenses.
That's correct. Yeah, if we did that, we wouldn't have any coaches.
That's right. That's right. Now everybody does 55 miles an hour on Route 97. What are you talking about?
So if someone does want to be a youth coach, how do they apply?
Most of our coaches are volunteers through the organization. The organization recruits them. Some are just parents. I mean, that's exactly how I got started. One of my sons, they wanted to play football. I went out there. They didn't have a coach, and looked around, and I was it. So, but it really is it's a worthy endeavor. And I think even though a lot of coaches may be hesitant for the background, I do think the passion of the sport really drives them to understand that this is a necessary thing that we have to have. And it works out well.
Well, I think you hit on something right there. Some of the coaches may be a little hesitant to give that personal information to go through that background check. What do you say to those coaches? What do you tell them?
I think if you realize the times that we're in, mainly is the main thing that everybody is doing it. The school board does it. And they have to recognize that our ultimate goal is the safety of the children, safety of the kids that are out there. So we let them know that there is confidentiality within the process, and we let them know that this information will not be shared. It's just strictly for these purposes for the department. And for the most part, they all understand. They're all on board for it.
Well, Rick, you and all the staff over Recreation and Parks doing a fabulous job over there, as always, keeping our kids safe and making sure we're following rule number 1.
Have fun.
Have fun out there, folks. You got to have fun. And I can't let him get away without talking about a big weekend coming up this weekend. It's Friday night. The youth championships for football has begun Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. We're going to have a lot of football going on out there.
A lot of football going on. Come on out. Friday night we have games, I believe, over 2 different fields. And Saturday at Old Mill will be championship day for Division I and on through Sunday. So I'll be out there.
Yep. Well, have a great time out there on the fields. Thank you for keeping all of our kids safe out there.
All right, thank you.
And folks, stay tuned with us because we'll have more Week in Review when we come back after the break.
Alone and crying, boom, boom, bam. Crying, pom, pom, pom. Crying, chaka, chaka, cha. Crying is always good.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There we go.
Welcome back. On November 14th, 2011, at approximately 10:45 p.m., detectives from the Northern District PAC Unit conducted a traffic stop on a white 2003 Chevy Silverado on Crane Highway in Glen Burnie. The violation turned out to be more than just speeding. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with further details on the investigation. Justin.
Thanks, Eric. Detectives approached the vehicle and immediately detected a very strong odor of suspected PCP that was emanating from that vehicle. And further investigation yielded 2 cigarettes containing PCP along with approximately 10.71 grams of suspected crack cocaine from that vehicle. The crack cocaine was individually packaged for distribution and had an estimated street value of $1,178. Additionally, $231 in U.S. currency was seized from the vehicle along with the vehicle. Now, 2 suspects, Charles Davis, age 43, of 317 Oak Manor Drive, apartment T4 in Glen Burnie. He was the operator, along with Darnell Brown, age 28, of 317 Oak Manor Drive, apartment T2 in Glen Burnie, the passenger, were arrested and charged with drug distribution and possession charges. We're going to move on now to our second incident. That one took place on November 11th around 4 in the afternoon. That's when officers from the Eastern District responded to the Neighborhood Care Pharmacy. That's located in the 300 block of Hospital Drive in Glen Burnie. The call came out for a commercial robbery. Officers arrived on scene. They spoke with employees who reported that a suspect entered the business, handed a note to an employee announcing a robbery, and demanded medications. The employee complied with the demands and handed over a variety of medications to that suspect, who left the store on foot and ran toward the rear of the business. Several patrol officers along with the K-9 unit canvassed the vicinity but were unable to locate that suspect, and the investigation is active and ongoing at this time. The suspect in the case is described as a white male in his early to mid-40s, last seen wearing a gray hoodie, blue jeans, also black tennis shoes, glasses, and a blue surgical mask covering his face. Additionally, he was carrying a blue Walmart bag. Now, folks, as always, if you have any information on any of the crimes or suspects we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline at numbers available 24 hours a day, toll free. You should know it. It's 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Or you can text message MCS plus your message to crimes. That's 274-637. Your third option, visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. As always, phone calls are not recorded. Callers remain anonymous. And you might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Justin.
Now on to a topic that many of our seniors are familiar with, Medicare Part D. Mary Felcher sits down this week with Amy Rubino to talk about an important deadline coming up and some helpful tips for those using the program. Mary?
Thanks, Karla. Today my guest is Amy Rubino, who is the director of our Senior Health Insurance Assistance Program, better known as SHIP around the office, right, and for the public. I asked Amy to come because we're in the open enrollment period now for Medicare Part D, the prescription drug plan. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me here today, because it is something we really need to talk about. Open enrollment's here. It started October 15th and it's going to wrap up early this year, December 7th.
Why is it moved up this year? It used to be December 31st.
Right, it would run right up till the end of the year, and then come January 1st, the new benefit would start. And in reality, they found that didn't work, because if you enroll December 31st, you're not going to have your new Medicare Part D drug card by January. So folks were running around not having their cards, not being able to pay for their medicines, and it just created so many problems. So they just shifted everything earlier. It's still the same amount of time. Actually, it's a week longer, but we just need to finish up by December 7th.
It sounds like a good idea and very rational that someone did that. Tell me, who can get a Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage?
Anyone who's enrolled in Medicare. People who are over 65 are eligible for Medicare, and then people who are under 65 disabled can be eligible for Medicare also. But not everybody needs to go with Medicare Part D. Many people have employer group insurance or retirement benefits. And if that coverage, that drug coverage, is as good or better than Medicare Part D, they're advised to stay with what they have. But most other people do need to think about Medicare Part D this time of year.
And how do you get Medicare Part D?
Well, you have to actually enroll in Medicare Part D. You have to have at least Medicare A or B. A is hospital, B is medical, to be able then to enroll in Part D. Part D is the drug coverage. And it's not run, it's approved by Medicare, but these plans are run by private companies.
Oh, I think people don't know that.
Right, and this year there are 31 private companies.
Oh my goodness.
That's right, that an individual could select for their Part D benefit.
It has to be authorized in the state of Maryland though, right?
If
you're a Maryland person?
It has to be authorized actually by Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, but it is regional. Yes, we do see a profile of plans in our area that are approved by Medicare.
So if you already have a prescription drug plan, why would anyone want to change their plan at this time?
Well, it's always a good idea to revisit this because Medicare Part D can change over the course of a year in that maybe next year premiums have gone up or copays have gone up or the formulary, the list of medicines that that plan covers may have changed, or somebody may have gone on new medicines over the course of the year.
That's true.
So now is the time because you can change it once a year. You may not need to. It may be the appropriate plan, but it's good to check to make sure it remains the best plan or if there's something else better.
I imagine they do need to check to see if their drugs are included in that plan.
Exactly. What we advise people is you use your list of medicines as a guide. You either call 1-800-MEDICARE or you can go online to www.medicare.gov or call us at the Department of Aging at 410-222-4464. Any of these avenues, basically what's going to be needed is the list of the medicines, put that data into Medicare's database, and then it lines up the plans based on a person's profile of medicines.
Ah. So your drug might be at one level in a plan and the other drug in a second level, which would be more expensive and maybe not even covered in a third level, but another plan might do it. So you need to compare.
And that tool is very useful, very useful.
And if someone doesn't like using a computer, they can call us and set an appointment?
Sure. We have volunteers with the SHIP program. It's a peer mentoring program, and I have a wonderful group of volunteers, and they help people make a decision about what would be the best Medicare drug plan. We do it by appointment. We are filling up, but we would please give us a call at 410-222-4464. Ask for SHIP, and we'll see what we can do.
And you're open 8:30 to 4:30, or what are the best hours to call weekdays?
They can call. The office opens at 8 o'clock. We stay open till 4:30. They can call during that time frame, and we can try to help them and figure out what's going on.
And you are making appointments too?
Appointments also, yes. Walk-ins, you know, we wouldn't want somebody to show up and we already booked with appointments, so we really ask if you want to come in for face-to-face help, please make an appointment.
I guess I just wanted to know how one determines the plan is the best one for you, and just sitting down and going over all the drugs is really going to be the way to do it.
That's right. We'll explain kind of, I call it the roller coaster of cost with Part D. There could be deductibles, there are co-pays, there could be a gap. There could be help with the gap. Somebody could qualify based on income and assets for some assistance, and we would also screen them for those programs.
And the gap is that point after you've had so much medicine cost, and then they stop paying towards it, and then you have to pay to another level, and then it picks up again.
Exactly, yes.
Can the insurance companies call you or come to your house to talk about these policies?
Unless you have given written permission, they are not able to show up at your door to be selling you some type of a product. But many times people don't realize those little cards they fill out for more information does really say in the fine print, it allows somebody to come to your door. But always remember, you can always say no. Don't ever feel pressured. You can come to SHIP, bounce your questions off of us. It may be that this insurance is okay, but you know, sometimes a salesperson might put you a little uneasy. Hopefully we can help answer your questions.
You do want to protect your private and personal
Exactly.
information. So.
Sure.
Well, I know that researching and finding the best prescription plan is definitely challenging. It sounds like a lot of questions that are out there and information that people need, and we're really glad that we have SHIP that can help people out, the Senior Health Insurance Assistance Program. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you, Mary.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer with the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities for Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Back to you, Karla.
Thanks, Mary. If you have any questions, you can certainly call Amy. You can also find information about Medicare Part D at www.medicare.gov.
In our Recreation and Park Spotlight, we head down to South County Recreation Center to see what's going on with our own Carolyn Ryan. Carolyn.
Well, we are here at the South County Recreation Center, which is one of the greatest hidden gems in southern Anne Arundel County. And I'm joined today by Kathy Parker with the preschool program here. Hi,
Good
Kathy.
morning. How are you this morning?
Thank you. And with Kara Miller, who also works here at the South County
doing,
Recreation
Carolyn?
Center. And they're going to give us a little more information about some of the great programs that take place here at the South County Recreation Center. Thanks for being on the show, ladies.
You're welcome.
Now, Kara, tell us, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on here. Stuff for adults, stuff for kids.
We have everything. We have everything. People don't even know we're here.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're located at 4510 Owensville-Sudley Road. We're open every day but Sunday. We have men's basketball at night. We have men's basketball in the morning from 5:30 in the morning on. We have kids programs, gymnastics, dance, arts and crafts. We have a preschool program it's unbelievable. We have ceramics for adults. We have ceramics for kids. We have a boot camp in the morning. That's at 5:30. That is a great class.
Very popular.
Very popular. It's 2 days a week, 5:30 to 6:30. And it's a very good class.
Now, you mentioned the preschool program. Kathy, tell us a little bit more about the preschool program.
Well, we're here Monday through Thursday from 9 to 2. We have preschool program for 3 to 5-year-olds, and you can take a combination of programs. We actually have 3 programs here. We have a program for the 3 to 5, and then we have other programs for 4 to 5-year-olds. So you can take a combination, or you can be here 4 days a week from 9 to 2. So it's a really good program. We enjoy it. The kids enjoy it. I've been doing it for over 10 years now, and the director has been doing it for over 20 years now. So we really enjoy the kids. We run it as a preschool, so they do get some academics as well as a lot of arts and crafts, movement, songs, so that kind of thing.
Well, it sounds like there's a little bit of something for everyone
There
here
is.
at the.
There is.
That's great.
My son went to that preschool.
Oh, that's neat.
It was great. He was absolutely right. He was prepared for kindergarten.
He was. He's a great kid.
Great. Well, there's a little something for everyone here at the South County Recreation Center. For more information on all of our programs, you can visit our website, www.aacounty.org/recparks, or give us a call at 410-222-7313. Come on out and take advantage of everything that the South County Recreation Center has to offer.
Thanks, Carolyn. And moving from South County to our local high schools. Cross Country East Regional Semifinals took place last week at South River High School, and the speed was in full force as high school girls and boys from around the region took part in the 5,000-meter race. On the boys' side, it was Chesapeake's Alex Love who crossed the finish line first with a time of 16:48, followed by Sam Pershaw just 3 seconds behind. Fellow Cougar Ted Tybert finished sixth with a time of 17:05. Chesapeake won on the boys' side with Severna Park coming in second. On the girls' side, Severna Park came to run as the ladies squad of Ashley Hayes, Michelle Nelson, and Jody Closer finished 1, 2, and 3. Severna Park took the team title, followed by Broadneck in second. A lot of fast kids. I mean, 16 minutes
Very fast.
for that big 5,000-meter dash. That's pretty darn good.
What's your best time?
Let's do mile. My best mile time was around like 6:45, but that was
That's not bad.
That was 15 years ago.
That's not bad.
Now, if I'm under like 9, I'm good. I'm happy.
All right, well, next week we'll time you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where am I going to run to?
Down the B&A trail.
The
outside.
B&A trail?
Yeah.
In my dress shoes and my suit and everything?
I think so, you know.
We can get some good footage of that. People would like to watch that. I'll do a turkey trot.
We can review turkey trot.
We can review turkey trot. I like it.
Well, 2 weeks ago, we told you about the federal government's test of the emergency alert system. Well, it happened last week with mixed results. The funny thing is, Erik Robey suggested that tweets or texts might be a better way to alert people. It turns out that a lot of people felt the same way. There were also some problems with an alert that went out. Some people didn't see it at all, some were missing audio, and some people heard this. Yeah, I know personally when I'm being warned about a major calamity, it would be nice to hear some relaxing music, so why not Lady Gaga's Paparazzi? Personally, you know what, I think Lady Gaga would pretty much energize anybody.
What does Lady Gaga know about an emergency? She comes out of the music awards in like an egg. I mean, she doesn't know emergencies. But I tell you, these emergency tests, it goes to show you that the nation, I think overall is prepared. I think we've went leaps and bounds from 2001, from the attacks on the World Trade Center, to where we are today with the investments that we've made in emergency management across the country. So it's good to see that we've finally moved into this nationwide emergency alert system.
And more digital age, multiple ways of informing people when an emergency does occur. Not just the tests on TV, but now we're using the web. And you know, in today's technological age, news and information travels fast. Sprint and Nextel announced this week that it will be the first wireless carrier to enable a new SMS-based emergency alert system. The wireless emergency alert system allows the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, to deliver warning messages from the President, the National Weather Service, and state and local emergency operations centers. Customers receive the warnings when their phones are enabled with special chipsets and software, and the warnings are sent based on geolocation. Unfortunately for Erik and I, we don't have Sprint, but Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile are all working on similar features for their phones.
Well, I tell you, Karla, that's all great stuff to hear, but I want you to get me on Facebook. Can we do Facebook notifications? I mean, maybe FEMA will come poke me or something, or send me an email when something happens like that. I tell you though, you look at technology, and you know, us being in our 30s, if you look just 5 or 10 years before us, people that are in their 20s now, they know I'm like an old geezer to them when it comes to technology.
Because they've grown up with it.
It's amazing. They know how to use their iPods. They know how to do the Google Clouds. Clouds are in the sky. I don't know about clouds on computers yet, but it's amazing how far technology has come.
It is.
You know what else is amazing too, folks? The parade, the Pasadena Parade. You can watch that on Channel 99 this year. Starting Thanksgiving Day, you'll see the best of Pasadena out there in the Pasadena Parade.
And you'll hear Erik Robey.
Yeah, you can turn the sound down. Don't worry about that. Well, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes. And folks, for the first time ever now, our own executive producer, Dave Abrams, has created a Facebook page for Week in Review. So you can like us on Facebook, or you can just tune in again next week, and we'll have more highlights and news from around your county. We'll see you next time.